What's up, everyone? If you're new to this channel, you might not have heard about Sprinkles, Gray Cloud, and the Falcon. They are all moved here. Here's how you can move chickens from a different flock into another flock. Let's begin. The first tip is be careful with who you are moving. Because if you accidentally end up moving a rooster into a flock like Falcon, it'll most likely end up putting stress on the chickens. Any chicken from another flock will put stress on your chickens, just remember that. These chickens were very stressed out for a few weeks. That's what got them into laying in the duck coop. But the outcome is them admitting them into this flock. So, now they're normal chickens, living their normal lives. But for a while, they're going to the back of the duck coop. They were laying their eggs back there. It's just kind of annoying, because, this coop is small. I believe the roof at its highest is like 38 or 39 inches tall. Now it's around 4 feet. I don't know why I can't talk, but just remember, be very careful with who you're moving in. You could either move in a chicken that's always in the flock by some random chance, and the chickens don't really care, like what happened with the cluckers. That chicken went right in the flock. No one even cared except for Falcon. These 3 chickens, Falcon, Gray Cloud, and Sprinkles, those 3, it took them a few weeks of fighting. Yeah, just remember, fights are up. Another one is fighting. Be very careful when it comes to fighting, because these chickens, if you are admitting other chickens, even if there isn't even a rooster in your flock, then be very careful. Watch them closely, and if you see any fights, what I want you to do is say Burn Chicken Tender and Gray Cloud are fighting. Right here, just get right in the middle of it and do that. That way your feet is clamped together on the ground. Or do this, and now your feet are on the ground like that. You're in between the fight, so they're not going to have a direction to go. Or if they don't stop fighting, chase them, because 9 out of 10 chance one of them is probably going to run away. Probably that chicken, Gray Cloud. But now it's really hard to get rid of fights, because Gray Cloud really trusts me. So yeah, that's why. See what I said when you need to be very careful with fights? You see? If, say, another chicken wanted to fight Gray Cloud, neither of them would run away in that case. Be very careful with roosters. Sure, having no roosters in the flock is a threat, and you might add one, that's okay, like Falcon. Just remember to make sure you have the right amount of chickens for him. I'd highly recommend a 1-on-10 ratio, which basically means one rooster and 10 hens. However, the one that seems best is 1-to-8, so I'd highly recommend 1-to-8 or 1-to-10 are my recommendations. You could also go 1-to-9, I don't really care. We have 1-to-12 here. And just remember, breaking that ratio will basically mean that your flock will literally fall into an all-out war. And by that, I literally mean not like what was going on back in November, where it looked like the flocks were about to, fight each other. They were gathering on each side, with all their, little armies or whatever they have. They're gathering right there, and they're just fighting each other. But that only lasted for 2 weeks. Now they're okay with each other. The only problem I have nowadays is sometimes, a rooster gets off track and hits the yard and the chickens get mad. That's really all that really happens nowadays. Just remember, if you have another flock of chickens, or if you're planning on moving more chickens in, make sure you're really careful with roosters, because they could end up leading your flock in the wrong direction. By wrong direction, I don't mean, they're just going to steer them. I don't mean their feeding routes might be down there, all the way down to the rhododendron bush. And now their feeding routes are way up here near the road. That's not a big shift. What I'm talking about is basically training the chickens to hate you. Training the chickens to look down upon you. Training your chickens to fight. Training your chickens to do terrible things that they would have never done under your rule. So be very careful with the rooster you have. Roosters like Falcon, they're really just for decoration. They don't really do anything. he hasn't really affected the flock in any major way. Like, they're not turning on me, not doing anything. Falcon does nothing. So remember, be very careful with the rooster, because I bet if we had Waldo in this... Oh my god! If we had Waldo in this flock, oh my god. Don't ask me what just happened. So if we had Waldo in this flock, I bet this flock would all be turning on me. I'd have no chicken friends. You know, this channel will be long since gone. Waldo was in this flock, because just remember, having a rooster in a flock is cool, but he could easily lead the flock in the wrong direction. Another thing is dealing with limited space. You might have
2,000 years later.
Thank God I'm here.
Built your chicken coop, you know, like in the video you're seeing right here. A lot of people actually really liked that video. I have 12 likes on that video, I believe. A lot of people really found that video really useful and helpful, and people are telling me, oh, this video is so informative, and they're gonna go build their own chicken coops with, you know, the tips and tricks I gave them. You know, those tips and tricks, I don't really know how to build the best chicken coop, but it's tips and tricks I used and I learned from helping build this chicken coop. So yeah, I built this chicken coop for, I believe, like, at the very max, 13 chickens. If you, like, get, like, 8 chickens and, you know, like, one of them gets attacked by a red tail, so you get new chickens, you get 3 more. You add them to the flock, and now you have 10 chickens. Now there's going to be this whole room. Now there's going to be this whole room area of the chicken coop. It's just going to be covered in chickens. There's going to be other rooms that are covered with random chickens.
Hey, could you please move? No, but can you? No, I don't feel like it. Hey, I have an idea. Let's fight for a spot.
So, your best bet to dealing with this is, you know, installing more roosting bars like this. A lot of chickens like to roost up here because, you know, it's higher up. You know, I believe this is like 4 feet above the ground. However, not a lot of them use these two. So if, say, like, this bar gets, you know, like, overflown at night, you know, it just does happen. We usually have, like, a random chicken on this bar. If you get a lot of chickens, they all sleep up here. You have more down here and more down here. Now, the floor is clear for you to walk through. Diseases! Oh my god, I can't stress about these enough. So many of these chicken diseases are so underrated and need to be taken way more seriously. I would highly recommend scanning your chickens for diseases before they go into the flock. We didn't do that with these chickens. We just looked to see if they're healthy or not, but, you know, just doing a simple health scan, like seeing if they're healthy or not, is good enough, you know? Just like moving them into a flock, they could be carrying something like mites with them. The farm flock currently has mites, so we can't sell their eggs. We checked the pet flock, they don't have mites. But say like let's just say like Sprinkles has mites, and, you know, we move Sprinkles and Gray Cloud out here, and Falcon, can't forget about Falcons. You know, we move the 3 out here, they're all out here, they're chilling, you know. They could just be spreading diseases to your chickens, so be very careful with diseases, especially more serious ones like avian influenza. Those are way more serious. You have most likely heard of avian influenza, though. So, take very strict precautions and check them for mites. Because, you know, mites could ruin an entire, I don't know, like few weeks or even months of your breakfast and force you to go out to the store and buy the less delicious eggs. You know, eggs from the farm taste a lot better, for sure. I'm still waiting to do that video on store-bought eggs versus, you know, farm eggs. My friend told me I should do that. I'm definitely gonna be doing that video, but, you know, I'm too lazy to go out to Walmart right now and pick up some store-bought eggs. And, you know, I don't really have the money, and plus it's only gonna be 1 egg, and in the end we're gonna be combining the 2 together. Yeah, watch out for that video. That'll probably be dropping, I don't know, sometime in the next few months. One last thing is chicken culture. You know, you probably have learned about culture in school. You probably learned about that in like 2nd grade. I learned about culture earlier than that though. So you know, it also applies to animals too, like chickens. So each chicken flock has their own unique set of cultural characteristics. So like in this flock, their cultural characteristic is to always run up to people. They like to be hand-fed. They like to, you know, listen to humans a lot. The farm flock's cultural characteristics, I haven't yet looked at them, but I believe they're the exact opposite of them. Except for the hand-feeding one, they love to be hand-fed. And in some cases, they're even using the same nesting boxes. In one chicken's culture, but in the pet flock's culture, that is extremely looked down upon. So, adopting, you know, moving a chicken from a different culture into this culture is very hard. You know, they have to adopt to a new culture and basically like saying, we're gonna throw all these culture characteristics and traits into the garbage can and just move into theirs, or they'll have to throw their cultural characteristics into the trash. So that way they can adapt to the new chickens. It's all based on a trait of dominance and what one is better. Yeah, the chickens actually do that. So yeah, look very closely at the chicken's cultural characteristics. Type them down because they could be changing rapidly. You should also take videos of it. You should do a lot. So that way you know this was the culture today. Move the chickens out here. And there's something completely different out here today. Yeah, that's literally how screwed up this can be. Yeah, so watch out for different shifts. Like you could be like, in this culture, everyone goes up to the roosting bar and gets an equal amount of space. But then suddenly you realize that there are chickens scattered all over the coop every night, and that's never happened. It's all based on dominance. So yeah, just do that. Take note, and I would highly recommend taking notes on this sort of stuff and doing that sort of stuff so that you know what your chicken's culture is, and try to stop the outside culture that you're moving your chickens into. Stop it from being spread, or let these chickens adopt to it on their own. Remember, fights are all based on several things. This is one of them, so be very careful with what your chickens have. Hello everyone, thank you for watching today's video. If you actually made it this far, congratulations, you're a really good person that decided to actually take time out of their own day to watch some random person's YouTube channel. A whole new video, a whole new channel by themselves. Or you're probably just a returning viewer that likes to watch all my videos. So, this is the last day before I close the Google form on, the chicken superlatives. So, if you want a response, right now they're no longer tied up. I got another response this morning. So if you wanna, you know, be part of Monday's video, the chicken superlatives video, check the description box. It is down there, or even check the pinned comment. It'll also be down there too. So be very careful with your chickens. And also be very careful about the date and time of when this thing is good. Because if you actually want, I could actually feature your YouTube channel in the description box if you want. But you'll have to email me using the email given in the description to do that. Subscribe everyone and have a good day.
We ain't on the same page. Do my own thing and I maintain.